Let me also introduce the representative of the Ministry of Interior. And the lady is somewhere in the middle, Tine Yulun. Tine? Yeah, that's the hand right there. Was the middle. Ministry of Interior. And then we also have representing the Executive Vice Chairman of the NCC. He's the Director, New Media and Information Security Engineer, Haru Al-Hassan. Yes, that's him. Thank you. And please also extend the same courtesy to the representative of the Federal Ministry of Power, Works and Housing. This name is Marcos. Where is Marcos seated? Amulemen Marcos. Okay, that's him, right in the middle. Thank you for coming. And Ministry of Power is his main ministry. We have from Bayelsa State, Office of the SSG. Actually, this is a delegation from Bayelsa State, and the leader of the delegation is Mr. Erie Tuaren. Where is he seated? Could you please wave to the audience, Mr. Erie? Oh, okay, he does that. Thank you. Let me mention that we do have from Minister of Mines and Steel, Mr. Awa Bala. Could you please wave? I saw you a while ago seated. Awa Bala, Ministry of Mines and Steel. Thank you. And we have such a powerful delegation. There are over 10 here from NIPOST. Could you all stand from NIPOST and wave to the audience? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thank you. Wow, that's a lot from NIPOST. Thank you for coming. So let me now move quickly to the proper welcoming. I did not. I didn't welcome you in the moment. I'll let the person responsible for discharging that burden come forward and welcome you as warmly as possible. But I have 10 minutes for goodwill messages, and usually I use my discretion. So I would ask that we give a few minutes, if you will indulge me, to Mr. Kazaure for goodwill message coming from GBB. You can applaud him a second time for goodwill message.
Honorable Minister of Communications, the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Communications, the SA to the Governor of Ogun State, Director E-Government, other directors and officials of government, captains of industry from the private sector, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed a pleasure for me to be here as part of this conference, which focuses on the use of social media in government organizations, primarily. As you're all aware, Galaxy Backbone has been working over the past years to create a platform for all government MDAs to collaborate and work together. And part of the greatest challenge that I see in achieving this objective is the fact that now that most of the infrastructure is in place, you find that most of the traffic on that infrastructure all leads out. People are using the infrastructure primarily to browse from the internet. There's not much local content on the platform. And this poses a huge challenge, because what it means is that we're still consumers. The eyeballs that we have are essentially being fed from the outside. So part of the key challenge is, how do we create enough local content so that this 80% of traffic now currently is internet, will now be reversed in such a way that there's enough local content that is being generated by federal ministries and agencies internally to warrant that the major amount of utilization is generated locally. Now, to be able to do that, we have to be conscious of how things have evolved. Where are the pressure points? What are the new things? Who are the people who are going to drive this? And everything points to social media, because social media captures the spirit of our times, the instantaneous nature of exchanges, being able to reach millions or probably billions simultaneously. That sets a whole new paradigm, and government has got to espouse that or risk extinction. Because consumers, in this case citizens, are get used to certain quality of services in anything they do. So they will expect, if they can do all their transactions, get all their information online, they would see absolutely no reason why government should not be able to provide them the same. And in the absence of government having that ability, they look for alternatives. And those alternatives probably are some of the things that yield problems that society now faces, especially when you're talking of things around fake news and things like that. If there were enough authentic sources directly from government, then some of these issues can be nipped in the bud. So it is in the spirit of that I look forward to the presentations and the subsequent training that will take place in the course of this. And I'd like to commend the organizers that this is a well thought out program, and I think it's something that is needed. So thank you very much for inviting us.
Yusuf didn't know I was going to call him, but he's best when he speaks of cough. He speaks from the heart. He's a subject matter expert, and he would always have something very interesting to say, even if you woke him up in the middle of the night. I'll do a few more introductions, but please clap for him for that good little message. We have 3 representatives from the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation. Could they stand and wave to the audience? Orise, Ibitomi, and Shehu, 3 of them. Thank you. And I also have Olabode Richard Olatunde and his colleague, who are from Ondo State, representing the state governor. They both are, where are they? Olabode, somewhere in the hall. Thank you. He is special assistant on new media. So Ondo State Governor. I'm also pleased to announce that we have from Bauchi State House of Assembly, interesting, Honorable Ibrahim Bala Hassan. Honorable, please let us know where you're seated. Thank you. Thank you for coming, for honoring the invitation. And then representing Kano State is the Senior Special Assistant to the Executive Governor on social media, Abubakar Aminu. Where is he seated? Thank you, sir. Thank you for coming. And I'm happy to say that among the earliest people to come into the hall at about 8:45 is the military. The army filed in at some point into the hall alongside other uniformed personnel from fire service, from road safety, and they're all in the hall. They've been here for an hour and a half or more. But I wouldn't be able to call you up all one by one. Let me simply introduce the gentleman and the soldier who is in charge of Army Cyber Command, Brigadier Thomas Onokwa. Thank you, but it wouldn't be wise and right, if you agree with me, to just announce him and have him remain on his chair. I put you on the spot. Step forward and let us hear what the Army Cyber Command has to say about this event and new media. Thank you. Applaud as it comes up.
Honorable Minister, sir, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols duly observed, or what, how did you? Anyway, I'm Brigadier General Theo Onokwa, the Commander, Nigerian Army Cyber Warfare Command. The Cyber Warfare Command is the newest command in the Nigerian Army for now. And it was established based on the fact that the Nigerian Army, under the able leadership of Lieutenant General T.Y. Buratai, found it necessary, knowing that the internet has become a veritable tool for information dissemination. I won't talk for long because whilst we are doing the, I can't remember what he mentioned, but just when we are making those speeches, I heard a lot about fake news. And if there is something I want to talk about this morning, fake news as regards national security. I'm happy to be with social media influencers and a lot of young men that are here, but I would advise that each time you have a report, let's not be quick to go to the press. I'm the first person to publish this without verifying your facts. A typical example is the Metele attack. There is no figure that we have not seen brandished. Some have said 200 people killed, 300, 500 disappeared, a lot of things, and people are quick to retweet these things, say these things, send these things without verifications. And the truth is, how many people do we even have in a battalion, let alone saying you kill 200 people at the same time? However, the army came up about 2 days ago to say we lost, unfortunately, 23 people. And there's a procedure, if I would just use this opportunity to tell, there's a procedure before you declare someone killed. In the army, you will not say someone is dead if you don't find the dead body. You cannot assume, it is a battle. You cannot assume that this person is dead until you find the body. Even after finding the body, you must inform the next of kin. You cannot just go around saying somebody is dead, you have not found the person, you have not gone to tell the wife or the son or whoever is the next of kin, and immediately you publish and say so people in so battalion is dead, or they are dead. So I want to implore all of us to watch what we post. The army is your army. You are all Nigerians, it is Nigerian army, it's not any other thing. And when we go around castigating the military, saying that the military this, we are the people at the end of the day. People are here, we're all under this AC. There are people in the trenches. I know we will say, well, you chose to do that. Yes, we chose to do that, but we are defending this nation. So as social media influencers, social media practitioners, I want to even beg you, let us verify our facts before we say them, before we keep posting whatever it is we want to post. However, if you need to get any information about the Nigerian Army, we just established our I-report. If you go to Nigerian Army I-report, /army.mil.ng/I-report, whatever complaints you have, we have to do that so that we even tell people that if you have any information for the army, come through this channel, let us know. But a lot of people don't do that. Instead, they are quick to say a lot of things. Someone will be posting something. Someone mentions something insulting some personalities. A person that is a social media influencer, you have about 5,000 followers. You call someone, you say, smelly mouth, bastard. Gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, it's not fair when we post what we don't know. Thank you.
I'm happy I'd asked him to come and speak. He actually wanted to talk when we had the open mic session, and he was listening to a lot of discussions around fake news using social media. I'm happy you made that intervention now. Thank you, General. And we hear your plea. The army is protecting us and fighting for us. We should not put them in harm's way any further. Not even their families. That's even worse. So we need to confirm news before we broadcast. So thank you so much. I will take only one more, as I know we need to let the minister take his leave because he's got to be in another meeting, and I'm aware of it. But I will keep this within 12, between 11:30 and 12, including his own talk, his speech. We have from Katsina State Governor, a representative, actually the Honorable Commissioner for Information, Honorable Hamza Mohammed Brodo. Could you please stand and wave to the audience, Honorable Commissioner? Thank you. There at the far end, they're seated. Thank you for coming. And then also the Secretary to the Government of the Federation has two of his senior staff in the audience, Mr. Dixon and Mr. Adenge. Would you please stand and take a bow, wherever you are? Oh, the two gentlemen there. Thank you so much for coming. Just two more representatives. From Kebbi State is the Special Senior Assistant on Social Media, Aisha. Could you wave to the audience? I know there are two of you, Aisha and Kuta, right? Okay. Oh, Aisha Kuta, that's right, that's the lady. What about the gentleman from Ministry of Information? I think it's Marafa. Where is he seated? Your colleague. Okay, thank you, sir, for coming all the way from Kebbi. Many honor this invitation from the state, so I'm taking liberty to announce their presence just so they know we're grateful that they could honor the ministry with their attendance. And let me mention that this event is live. The hashtag is SM4GG, Social Media for Good Governance, hashtag SM4GG. And we do have Wi-Fi provided by the Parastatal, a company under the Ministry of Communications, NIGECOMSAT. And that's actually the password. You can access that on Social Media for Good Government, GOVT, Social Media for Good Government. There's Wi-Fi access, and the password is NIGCOMSAT. Feel free to log in, and then you can share and tweet the information. So let me take my last Google message, and he doesn't know I will call him, but he's here from all the way from Olumarok. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands for Bumi Adebayo.
Yeah, the Honorable Minister for Communications, the Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Communications, and I believe you permit me to stand on existing protocols, and greetings from Ogun State to good people from other states here gathered together in Abuja. Apparently, the issue of social media has sort of become a menace, and it's been of concern to us in Ogun State as well. And I just want to make mention one or two things we've been doing that probably you could help us further, or maybe you can actually maybe correct us. Of recent, in terms of human development, Ogun State was rated as having the highest internet penetration per 1,000 through this budget, is it budget IT? So we have a lot of young population that are using internet, and it's been a lot of concern to us as well. And just by the side, just 3 or 4 days ago, about 150 young ones were rounded up in Arepo overnight. They were like suspects of illegal internet usage. That is how much Ogun State is affected by this issue of social media. So there is a good side of social media and there is bad side. The good thing about social media is, or do I say, I'll probably say is the bad side, whereby when you issue an information, it goes viral. To retrieve it, it's not as easy as that of the traditional media. The traditional media allows you to do a rejoinder through the regular journalism. So that's why we are concerned that how do we clean up that sector, that is the social media sector. And of recent, we all gathered together in Abuja on the 6th NCCT. Unfortunately, one of the areas of social media came up. And Ogun State, we proposed something that we believe is as a result of our daily life, the level of decorum we exhibit in society. I don't know if all of us could realize that at times when we get to banks, maybe 1 or 2 or 3 of you is like in a line trying to see the cashier. Somebody will just come from your behind and stretch his hand, assuming you are not there. So what we are looking at in the social media today is a resultant effect of some of those social behaviors that actually happen in our daily life. So that's why some people will think when I'm behind the walls of the internet, I can see anything. Nobody can see me. So our own thinking is that behavior probably could be curbed through identity system. So I want to implore these sitting to look at ways of finding identity as a way of monitoring what is going on the internet. We proposed a solution, although later I was discussing the solution with the minister, and he mentioned one thing that there are some people that are finding other ways to register for SIM card registration. Our solution was, okay, we can provide a Nigerian API, whereby the Nigerian API is downloadable by any social media platform. Facebook can use it, any e-commerce sites can use it, whereby the moment you type in Bumi Adebayo, Nigeria, it will prompt you for your phone number. And the moment it prompts you for your phone number, that field queries the NCC database. So the expectation is your name that you are using to register on the social media platform should match your SIM card registration. Yeah, it seems to be a good solution where the SIM card registration is perfect. I was advised it wasn't that 100% perfect, but it's still a starting point that if we have 80% good NCC database, maybe we can start from there. But like I mentioned, this gathering is meant to find a solution, to shape the social media platform for Nigeria. So I want to throw it open to all of us here that if you can think along that line, maybe we can find other means to sort of identify